We are so busy here at the shop. Do we have time now? We have 19 buses here, so we're gonna get 4 of them out of here this week. Do we have time also to get this outdoor container shelter all cleaned up, serviced, ready for the next bus to come in? Can we get our bus polished up and cleaned up, ready to take to a Cars and Coffee this week? Let's see what happens. We have not had time to clean this floor one time out here since we built this thing. It's been so busy, buses in and out and in and out, just nonstop. So we're trying the regular pressure washer tip on it here. If you get too close, I don't want to take the paint off, because remember, this is just concrete paint that's on here. But the regular tip does clean about 90% of it, the debris off of there, the oil and the grease and whatever staining is there. If it gets about 90% of it off, it's just kind of painstakingly slow, and if you get too close, you will damage the paint just a little bit. So you can't get too close with it, but it does a decent job. But we're going to try that other floor cleaner that we have, and we're going to see how that works out. So I got this thing a few years ago, hooks to the pressure washer there. I used it with a small electric pressure washer. It didn't really do that good on the floor. So it's got 2 jets on it here, and this thing spins around and it sprays down. But we're gonna try it with the bigger pressure washer, the hot seat. We'll try it without heat first, and then with heat to kind of maybe help get some of the grease and oil off. So we're using the pressure washer, the hot seat with it here, and it is clearly doing a good job. It's removing like the same 90% of the staining, just cleaning it off real well. And we'll just squeegee it and be done. So it's a much faster approach, larger area than the other one. So yeah, I think this thing works real well. I'm real happy with it on here. The smaller little electric portable pressure washer, not so good. But this big one is like, 4,000 PSI. Yeah, you can see it really just eats it up clean. So this will make it fast for us to be able to service this area, keep the area clean and looking good. And then we can use the regular pressure washer tip to hit any big areas that don't come off like that, like a big grease stain or something like that.
Wow. That does good.
Yeah, that'll be our system from now on. We'll do a real quick just clean of it before we bring the next one in, just keep this area cleaned up. And yeah, it's turning out real nice. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, we brought it in the shop and cleaned in there too. It looks a lot nicer on the floor. Just to save us a little time, we brought in an outside guy to polish the wheels up on Lenny. These are aluminum wheels that we put on last year. They haven't been polished since probably the 70s. So it's kind of a big job. So he's making them look pretty good there. Took him almost all day to do the 4 tires on Lenny, and then he's not able to get around the lug nuts on the inners, so we're going to pull those off and finish that up ourselves. But the steers are looking great, and I mean, it looks like $1,000,000. Lenny really looks sharp with those polished rims. Now that his rims look so good, the rest of them looks bad. So we're gonna polish the rest of them up again too. We're gonna hit it with a clay bar again. We're gonna use a green bar, which is a fine. It's been a while since I've done a clay bar on them, so but it should make, you can see how the body just looks bad. So I removed the outer rear duals so we can get the inside of them where the lug nuts are. We can get that polished up. I just drove the inner wheels there up on some boards so we could just take the outers off without using a jack or anything. I did actually sand down that inner lug nut surface there before we polished it because it really needed it. Yeah, the container shelter looks great out here all cleaned up. You've seen this in a couple of our videos, but this is the Ineos Grenadier. It's kind of old Land Rover style design. Very utilitarian off-road vehicle. Four-wheel drive, obviously. It's pretty slick. The interior of this thing is so cool. I love how the console controls and everything look like an aircraft. That's really cool. Those windows actually pop out of the top. Back in February, we installed some new house batteries in Lenny. I'm happy to announce that we have a new sponsor for the channel, HumSync. These batteries are really cool. So this is a very large capacity lithium iron phosphate battery. It is 640 amp hours at 12 volts, which is 8,192 watt hours per battery. We installed 2 of them in a 24 volt configuration. These batteries are amazing. The size of them, first of all, they're very large, so the capacity is amazing. We've been testing them out, like I said, since just before Valentine's Day. We've been on multiple trips. We went down to Florida with them. We installed them securely in this bay here. I put them side by side. I was going to first put them end to end, and I said, no, that takes up too much easy accessible room at the front of the bay, so let's put them in the back of the bay. And then this, since it was really cold outside, I thought about wintertime, so we built an insulated box to put around the batteries as well. We secured them in with these very large metal brackets that we put in there so they don't slide around, and then we strapped them down from the top. Like I said, we ended up putting an insulated box around them that I'm going to, with the lid on it for the wintertime, and in the summertime I'll take the lid off because I'm more worried about cooling in the summer, overheating. But the wintertime we don't want it to get super cold. So we use this real thick 1-inch foam core around it. Super large battery cables. These run everything in the bus. That's 16,000 watt hours between the two. So you can run something that's 1,000 watts for 16 hours. You can run your mini split, which ours is about 750 watts per hour that it uses. So you can go almost a full day with just that. But it runs the microwave, the convection oven, the block heater, the refrigerator, all that stuff, water heater, everything inside the RV is run off of these. And they're just massive amounts of power for a super affordable price. We're going to put the link in the description. So if you want to go check it out, it's definitely something. I said we've had it since in the bus for multiple trips. We've gone on like 5 bus rescue trips with it, never needing to plug in anywhere when we go. We did plug in at Disney because we were there for an entire week, but we got all the way there, a 3-day trip, without having to run a generator or anything because of the amount of power that we have stored in these batteries. They've been really good and reliable for us. Thanks again to HumSync for sponsoring this video. My solar charge controller wasn't working in the bus, and I thought it just went out or something. I didn't know. It wasn't communicating, it wasn't charging or anything. And then when I got into it, the positive and negative cable, which are great big, like number 2 cables, came out of here, and they were just hanging there inside my bus. 24 volts, 1,400 amp hours of batteries connected to them, just sitting around, not arcing out on anything, just sitting there. So put them back in, secured them super tightly, and then also secured them where they can't come out anymore. But this was an extra one that I had, but I was getting ready to replace it with this one, and I went in there and I just saw those 2 giant cables laying there floating around. Crazy. Could have been bad. So here the solar charge controller is working. It's bringing in 164 watts, and this is actually parked under the shade. So this is under the canopy, 100% in the shade. So through that white translucent surface, it's still bringing in that much, which is more than enough to keep my refrigerator going and stuff like that. So that's nice. I don't have to have it plugged in all the time. Yeah, and here we got 1,440 amp hours of that 24 volt battery system in there. So that's a lot of battery storage that we have. For some reason, and I don't know why, but if I plug my RV charging, this goes to my Victron inverters, into a ground fault interrupt, a GFCI outlet, it'll trip it, and I don't know why. So I can work around that by having this Blue Eddy in here. I just plug the Blue Eddy to charge and then plug my RV into the Blue Eddy to get its power from there. And I got it set to pull about 1,300 watts out of there, which is enough to run, if I'm using a generator or plugged into a house or whatever, it's enough to do it. And that's enough to run still 1 air conditioner and charge the bus still at the same time. So I can plug into a very small household outlet somewhere and get all the power I need to charge my bus and run things up. But this is my workaround to not trip a ground fault. I don't know why the ground fault circuit interrupt trips with the Victron system. I don't understand why. There's no shorts or anything. I just don't know why it does that, but for me it doesn't work. So this is my workaround on it. I just started polishing the front with the green bar. Man, is it looking good. Look at that shiny aluminum. But we're not trying to make him look perfect. We're just trying to make him look really good, and he does look really good. You can get a near mirror finish on there. If we sanded it all down ultra fine and then did it again, we could get rid of a lot of the imperfections and stuff. But I don't have the time to do that. It's not worth it. This is a real quick few hour job. Just shine it up, make it look good, put some protectant on it. It's gonna last for quite a while. Well, Lenny is looking really good. We're gonna go ahead and wash the roof off too because it's really dirty now. And now that the rest of them's looking so shiny and clean, we're gonna wash the roof down.
Probably shut those other toolboxes over there.
Okay, yeah. Gonna take a few minutes and clean the actual rubber up on the tires. Some of that clay bar got hit on there, and so we're gonna clean that all off. We're gonna use the white wall tire cleaner stuff. It does real well at cleaning the tires up. We just scrub it down, and all that should come right off. Yeah, it did real good the first coat. I'm gonna do it one more time, just a quick little scrub on it, and then just dry it off and put some tire shine on it, and it's gonna look real good. Every time we take Lenny to a car show, he's won an award for something, which is crazy. Which Cars and Coffee, they don't do awards or anything, but we just wanted to spend a little extra time to make him look a little nice for people to see him and experience him. Yeah, it took me about 45 minutes to do all 4 of the tires, so real quick process, and they really do look nice. Not difficult. I can sit down on a stool, so it's easy to do. Just get all the gunk off them and dry them up with some tire shine. Well, he is ready to go to the Cars and Coffee. It's in Columbia, Tennessee. I think it's like the 3rd Saturday of every month. It's down by the Columbia Motor Works, I think's the name of it. That's where Mike Wolf, the guy from American Pickers, owns this. It's like a 1947 Chevy dealership. Lots of Volkswagens are always there. I like Volkswagens, of course. There's Mike Wolf there hanging out. We had a real good day out there at the event. It was a lot of fun, and I love classic cars, vintage cars, and talking to people about vehicles and stuff. So we got to meet a bunch of people that watch the channel, so that was a lot of fun too. And we picked up some new subscribers too. These are just some of my favorite vehicles that I saw there, but there was probably over 100 vehicles there for sure. Yeah, Lenny was kind of in the middle of it there. A little hard parking to find street parking, but he did it. Well, Lenny was a huge hit. A bunch of people talked to us at the Cars and Coffee. They really enjoyed seeing him out there. Several people said this was the coolest thing that was there. He's big, so he gets a lot of attention, but he does look really good, considering he's going to be 80 years old next year. It's a fun bus to drive and everything, and we got all the mechanicals sorted out on him, and he's real reliable and just a fun vehicle to take out and share with people. We really enjoyed having him out there, and we'll probably go again in the future.